You know what I learned yesterday or a couple days ago that I never knew?
Hmm.
You when someone has long hair, you brush at the bottom and then go to the top.
Yeah,
I
my
never
grandma
knew that.
taught me that. I never do it, but my grandma taught me that.
I never knew it. And I honestly, I still catch myself doing it from top to bottom, but I'm trying to catch it. My grandma was like, "You're brushing your hair wrong." I was like, "What do you mean you're brushing my hair wrong? Is there a way to brush your hair?" Sound like a real dumbass when I said that, but you know. Alright. You ready for the juicy deets?
Hold on. I gotta go to the cheesecake.
My brother in Christ. Cheesecake. I don't really like cheesecake. Fuck.
I'm not fond on it. Little cupcake ones. They're actually pretty good.
Oh, fuck it, I'll brush my hair later. Oh, I should
Alright,
probably grab another Coke.
I'm
Alright.
good now.
So you remember Tyler?
Uh,
The tall
no.
one. Real slim.
No,
I
still
forget
no.
his last name. He used to bully
Oh,
Camden a lot.
Bloom?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Dylan earlier today. Tyler started picking on me. I told him I got a school bully, which is true. Uh, to a sense, I guess. Uh,
What'd he say to you?
See, this is kind of why I say I'm hesitant on whether I have a bully or not. But he has been doing it kind of repetitive now. And don't get me wrong, like it's not like I don't stand up for myself, you know. I don't just let that shit slide. But
Except I knew Tyler Bloom decently well last year because he was in one of my classes, and that was the
yeah,
only person to talk to, so I'm
oh,
about to text him and tell him to fuck off.
don't worry about it. I used to go to church with him, and I know his dad pretty well from my men's group, which is kind of funny. So, uh, no, just earlier today. So, first off, my lab had a field trip today, and I didn't remember when it was, but I had signed up to not go, 'cause it was like some stupid hockey game. I don't even remember who it was that was playing, but anyways, some hockey game that was really like a 2 hour drive out or a 1 hour drive out, and they were gonna be there till 8 o'clock or some shit. Like they were just getting back, and I got a remind text from it and everything. And I said, yeah, no, I'm not going. So I went through all my daily classes and shit, and I get into. By the way, today was such a shit day for me. I was extremely fucking depressed. I might have seasonal depression. I can't tell if it's seasonal or just me in general. But anyways, I was really fucking depressed this morning, and then my mom had me drive to school at 7 in the morning or 7:30, whatever we left. So I was really fucking groggy, and she was yelling at me already because of how I was driving. So, anyways, skip the deets. I get to math class, which is after my lunch. So I got through my lab. And Bryant and Garrett, you remember the two twins?
Of course I will.
Yeah. So they both go up to the career center. And Bryant is in my math class and he sits next to me. And we always fuck around in the back.
Fucking love Bryant.
He's so fucking awesome, dude.
He's majorly racist, though.
Oh, I know.
If you ask his opinion on black people, you're gonna get a fucking
No,
answer.
dude. He looks over at me. He shows me his phone. He's like, guess what song I'm listening to? He shows me some fucking songs. Like, it's not the songs like I don't like. You know what? It was the other reason I'm not saying it is because one, Dylan will kick my ass, and two, I'm streaming. But he showed me that he was like listening to some really racist fucking song. I was like, God damn. But anyways, moral of the story is, uh, Bryant wasn't there that day. I guess he was pouring cement at the time. And when he was so while he was out, I was just like kind of left there with no one to talk to. And Camden's also in the same class, but he sits 2 rows ahead of me, so I can't talk to him. And so basically, since I was like super depressed all day for a long ass time, I was listening to really loud music and like loud. And you know how when you're wearing earbuds and stuff and you turn it all the way up, that everyone else can hear it slightly,
Yeah.
even through your like ears and shit. Well, I was playing stuff that loud, and everybody was just kind of looking at me. They were like really giving me a mean look. I was not having it, dude. So I put my head down. I paid no attention to it. I said, "Fuck it, I don't care." I was really upset. So class finally starts, and Friday last week I had started a test uh, in there, and we hadn't finished it. So Monday I wasn't in school Monday because I went on a trip with my grandparents, so I missed a day. So everybody else had pretty much gotten their test done, and surprising enough, there were still a few that still hadn't finished. Um, it was just a quiz, not a test, so it was small. And about halfway through, when she passes everything, like all the tests back if they were graded, and then some people had to complete, I needed to complete. So when I was done, I went to walk up to hand it to her. And I should have just turned it in. I don't know why I didn't turn it into the tray, but as I was going up the aisle, because Bryant and I sit in the very back of the corner of the room, so on the opposite corner is where the teacher's desk was. So as I'm walking up the aisle, Tyler and this gal that sits next to him on the other side of the aisle both had their bags like in the middle of the aisle. So as I'm walking up, I wasn't really paying attention, but I knew that they were there, so I lifted my leg up to like step over it, and my foot caught. So I kind of like tripped, stumbled, but I didn't fall. And as I like recovered, I was like, okay. And I kind of glanced at the chick next to me, who had her bag in the aisle, because I tripped over her bag. And I was a little upset. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty pissed because I was already fucking depressed. Pay no mind. I went up to the desk, gave her the test or quiz. I was like, I'm done. And you know, I said it in a really like sad way, so she could tell something was off. She didn't say anything though. She's like, okay, go ahead, just turn it in. So as I'm walking back, I turned it in to the tray, and when I'm walking back through the aisle, Tyler and this chick, I don't know the name of, are like practically gang up on me, and they're both like, hey, don't trip on that bag there. There's a bag there or some shit. I'm like, really, dude? I didn't pay any mind to it. I just kept walking forward. I was like, okay, man. Alright. It's gonna be a long day, but that's just how it is. God damn it, I bricked. So, I get through that. And that was like the tip of the iceberg. That's what really set me off. But not to the extreme. So, I was upset, and Tyler was talking with another kid from that you know from Clear Fork. I forget his name. Bryce. You remember Bryce?
Yeah, Bryce. Crackhead Bryce. What's
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah,
Bryce?
yeah, yeah, yeah. The weird face looking one, not Bryson. I know he changed his name to Bryce or some shit. But so they were sitting next to each other, and they start giggling in front of me, and they keep looking back at me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I keep my earbuds in, but I turn them all the way up again, but since I'm so used to listening to the music so loud, god damn, I think I bricked again. Since I'm so used to listening to the music so loud, I I kind of tuned the music out while I was listening to it, and then tried to eavesdrop into the conversation as well, which it would have been so much easier if I just took one earbud out. But anyways, I'll listen in on the conversation while I got my music going, and fuck, this is not a great game. Probably should have used Big Sector lots. I'm listening to their conversation, and like the few words that I caught were just like weird and strange, and then I caught quiet kid, and it kind of sent me off. And I don't know why. I think it was just because I kind of assumed they were talking about me, especially with how many quick glances they gave to me. But anyways, fuck, I can't banish those. I got a special summon. That sucks. I can't link climb. So I'm thinking some of the weirdest stuff in my head. I'm just like, oh fuck, here we go. And they finally look back at me again. Oh, I should have said abs run. Fuck. Sorry, I'm getting so sidetracked. Sorry, I'm losing track of everything. Trying to focus at the same time is not a great.
You're fine. I'm sidetracked on my homework. I'm listening, and I know everything you're saying.
I gotcha. No, like, so I'm listening to these conversations, you know, right? And I'm catching all these like small words. And anyways, my music kind of like, so as my music stops and it goes to change to the next song, and it's like it's quiet for a second. I'm like, oh, and I looked at my phone because it was taking a while for the next song to come on, but it was just because I had a really quiet intro. So I'm looking at my phone, I realized that it's got low charge. I think I was at like 20 or 30% at the time. And I was like, fuck. Oh, I'm in a real match. I'm not running Link. That's right. I'm a fucking idiot. I'll just go, I do need a Link climb though for that to be worth anything. Fuck! Ah, fuck it. I already fucked this combo anyways.
I don't think they understand that you're hotter than both of them. Like, majorly hotter than both of them.
What? What are you on
I'm just
about?
saying, you're better looking than both of them.
Okay. Thank you.
Why are they making fun of you? They could, you could literally just be like,
I shouldn't have done that. Alright. No, like, they weren't making fun of the way I looked, I don't think. Just, like, because I was acting weird that day, or today, you know, like, normally I'd really go up at them, or go get them and all that shit, and, like, pretty joyful, and today I just was, like, looking like the quiet kid. I don't know. I guess from their words.
they're friends with Brian, so I don't see them, like, actually harassing you.
No, and that's why I'm like very hesitant to say I have a bully, but at the same time it still hurt just as bad. But let me really quickly finish this because now it's not my turn. So anyways, I'm charging my phone and shit, and I go to open my bag, and everyone kind of like shifts when I do it, and it kind of took me by surprise. I was like, Jesus Christ, I literally am in like a quiet kid situation. Like they think I'm gonna pull shit. It was like, okay, kind of strange, but I get it, I guess. Maybe. So I go to grab my Chromebook out of my bag with the charger and my fast charge pad for my phone. I plug it all in, and I reach for my bag again, and everyone shifts again. Like, what the fuck? Why is everyone doing this? So I plug everything in. I keep listening to my music, and then the teacher, her name's Mrs. White, or Mrs. Gray, sorry. She looks like, and everybody's looking at me now, like everyone, all eyes on me, and I fucking hated every second of it. And I see her point to her ear and like act like she's turning a volume knob and insinuating that I need to turn my music down. I was like, great. Now I gotta turn my music down. Kinda fucking sucks. I turn my music down. I pop an earbud out just to make sure everything's alright. Yep, everything's fine. Just wanted my music to be turned down. And then Tyler and this chick look at me again and just kind of give me a look. And again, could just me being paranoid, but like, I didn't like the look they gave me. And it was just very unsettling and off-putting. So I'm reaching in my bag again because I want to go grab one of my pics that I've been working on. I've been 3D printing a pic during my lab. And again, everyone shifted that was close to me. It's like, it was kind of like, it was starting to piss me off. Like, what the fuck? Why is everyone doing this? And I really wanted to say something, but I also didn't want to start anything. So I make it through the rest of the class. Tyler didn't finish his test somehow. Probably because he was...
Tyler's really stupid.
I know. And so he was fucking off. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I finished, so like I literally spent like more than half the class period just like listening to music and jamming the fuck out. Like just toning everything else out. Laid my head down. Probably should have just spent the rest of the time reading my really good book, but I was really upset. And I said, there you go. So the bell rings and everyone gets out. So I'm going into my next class, which is right across the hall. And as I'm going through, and like, when I tell you it's right across the hall, I'm literally like 2 steps away to getting into my classroom, and I get fucking shoulder checked midway through. Never happens. Not ever. Again, complete coincidence. Very, very high possibility. Absolutely. I'd honestly love to write it off as that. But something about it just was like so unsettling to me that it was just at that moment and that time.
It's just that suspicion factor. Like you said, it's, again, there's a really high possibility it's an accident.
But I turned to look who it was, and it's fucking Tyler. And I'm like...
Oh, yeah, no, Tyler does that shit on purpose. That was definitely Tyler.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, alright, it's cool. Probably just an accident. The crowd... And again, I write it off. Like, it's okay. The halls do really get really fucking crowded when classes switch. Like, that's something that's very common. That happens a lot. I write it off. I get into my next class. So I'm going into ELA, my favorite fucking class, because I love the teacher in there.
Fucking weirdo. Oh.
I know. I love the teacher. She's really awesome. And also just, I really like writing. It's awesome to me. And I wish I could get better at it. That's why I really want to start reading some stuff on vocabulary and shit, because I wish I had a better vocab. But anyways, I get into my favorite class, and again, I'm really left in that shitty mood, and I hate it. So, I get in there, and again, I missed Monday, so obviously I had some work to make up, I assumed. Surprisingly, every class, I didn't have anything to make up, which was fucking mind-blowing, except for science. I did have something in there. And we'll get to that later. But, anyways. Oh, wait. Don't do that just yet. So, I got into this class, and it's like, alright, there's 2 kids in this class that I absolutely fucking despise. One of them, it just acts like an absolute child, and provokes envy anything and everything he can. I guess you could just call him a class clown. That's the best way to describe him. But he kind of takes it a little beyond. Adam is also in this class. You remember fucking Adam?
The nozzle?
Yes. Yeah, honestly. Seems to have cleaned up, but once again, he's that fuckboy, so, like, every woman's literally sticking around him, and I... just kind of pisses me off for no reason. It just does.
He's not even good looking.
He's not! He's really fucking not!
He's fucking disgusting.
So, again, I'm just, like, I'm minding my own business. I plug in all of my shit again, near a port. And I just keep listening to music. and I don't get bothered at all. The entire class, and I raise my hand, ask questions, because right now we're currently writing a letter to a previous instructor or teacher and saying how grateful we are to them. Well,
Is
I
she
didn't.
dying?
Huh?
Is she dying?
No.
Oh.
We were just writing to like one of our previous instructors as an assignment. Like that's what that was. And I chose to do Rashly, which was my lab instructor this year, because I didn't really think of anyone else from the past that I could have wrote to. At least that I had like a super deep connection with. I thought about writing to Mr. Hoover, but I thought against it. And so, I started writing this letter to Rashly, and I kind of poured my heart out into it a little bit, because he did definitely help me out just in the short amount of time that I've been at that school. And he's been, like, a really good fucking teacher. You know how, like, some teachers you just know are there to teach you and, like, be an actual teacher?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to interrupt your story, but like, obviously right now, considering I have all Fs, I've been failing most of my classes. My main teacher for financial algebra had a child, so she's on maternity leave. Well, the long-term sub is really lenient about my narcolepsy. And so she let me catch up like weeks and weeks worth of projects, tests, notes, like major help. Reason I'm not gonna fail her class.
Right. So like Rashly kind of did the same stuff with me, so I was really struggling to make my own stuff. So we work with like a lot of Photoshop in that class, obviously, and because of that, a lot of the assignments that we do, we can't just go offline, find something we like, and use it. We have to make it ourselves if we want to use it, which really sucks, because for me that's kind of just how I've always rolled. I always just grab whatever's there and I use it. So, you know, relearning that and having to like make my own stuff, especially with my kind of confidence, it just like it wasn't a great mix. And that was something that he touched on early in the year. I guess I didn't know about, and that he was saying, like you really need to get out of that perfectionist mindset, because the one thing that I despise the most in the kids that I get in this class are whenever they come to me and say that I can't get anything or I can't make anything, and I ask them what they have so far, they say nothing because they deleted it. And that right there is what really gets me going, because when they delete it, I can't tell them what they can't do to make it better. And I can't help them. I can't like teach them. I can't instruct them. And I said, wow, that's honestly I've never thought about it that way. So that was one aspect that he really like just fucking blew my mind in. And then he was another thing that he pulled me aside one day and he was talking to me. He said, because it was the same conversation. I was like, I can't come up with anything. I don't do this. And he pulled me aside and he said, look, man, you didn't get in my class to learn how to copy and paste, did you? No. You came in here to learn how to do whatever, to just further your career in whatever you're looking at, right? I said, yeah. I said, well, that's what I'm here to help you do, right? So I'm going to do that. But you need to help me help you. And so he was like, there are ways of getting there. You just have to help me help you, basically. And again, just kind of like shot me out of the dark. I was like, wow, I never thought of it that way, you know? I was like, okay, cool. And so, again, here we go. Like, it's just like super grateful to have him as an instructor, because like, damn, he's great. He knows what's up. And so, let me get back to the point though. So, I'm writing this letter to him, and I start to get a little emotional as I'm writing, which I do often when I write, because that's just what you do, I guess, for me at least. And so no one really noticed except the teacher. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's okay. Just having a rough day and, thinking back on some stuff, it just kind of hits hard. And, of course, that's understandable from a writer teacher's perspective. Of course, they're going to understand that. So, again, I'm left to do my work again. I go back to listening to my music really loud, and I move on for the day. So I'm done with that class. So now I'm mixed feelings of really depressed and angry and kind of sad at the same time for kind of no reason. So I'm just kind of like super lost and almost confused in a way. And I'm like, interesting. So, oh shit, I didn't think about that. That's not good. Anyways, I get to science class, the one class that I kind of despise as well, because I have to deal with a certain kid in there who's really, really annoying and just starts shit. Not intentionally, he gets antagonized a lot, and I feel bad for him. But people push him to his limit, and he snaps in class a lot. And it causes it causes the class to stop. It makes a scene, and it's annoying, and it's aggravating to watch because it's really hard to be in a school where you're treated like an adult when a lot of people really shouldn't have that right to be treated like one because they don't act it. And it's annoying, and it's a complaint that I've said to a lot of people a lot. But anyways, I get through this class, or I get into the class, and we started a whole different subject on Monday. So I said, fuck. So I look at the stuff for like people who missed a day. She has like a whole thing on the door for like worksheets or anything. There's a huge ass packet in there for notes. I'm like, fuck. Don't know how behind I am, but it seems like a lot. So I get in, sit down. We have like a bell ringer, which if you remember, is like a morning or like a beginning class assignment. Just a small little thing. And
but they make you want to kill yourself.
they kind of do. But it depends on the class, honestly. But I get that done, but I was like, what the fuck does this question even mean? Because it was on the subject that we were just learning on. I was like, I don't know anything. I was like, I'm fucking lost. So I look over and of course, just my luck, I don't know anybody in this classroom like that's familiar to me at all. They're all from different school districts that I just don't know. And most would look at that as an opportunity. Me, not so much. But I mean, I kind of clicked with like two of them. But I'm still not really like as close as I would like to be to call them a friend, if that makes sense. And so I look over to one of them and I said, hey, can you guys help me out on this? Because I don't understand it. I'm like, sure. And she just gave me the answers right away, which is kind of something I hate, but at the same time, I appreciate. You know what I mean? I'd much rather be able to understand it rather than just have the answer.
I know what you're saying. Which is what I'm doing in financial, because like, alright, so, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but we had a different sub today. Because our other long-term sub was out for a few days.
Yeah.
And she comes up to me, she goes, hey, so this Chapter 5 test you guys did yesterday, are you doing it today? And I was like, or she asked if I was finishing, and I was like, no, I haven't even started, I don't know a single thing from that chapter, like, I don't have the notes for it, I'm still catching up a lot of stuff for this class. Now, Miss Golden is also, this is the sub, Miss Golden also works in the office. She's not like an actual sub, because she works in the school 24/7. So, she would usually know my grades, or, like, know my credits, like, know most of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And know kind of what's going on. The fact that I have a 504, the fact that I have narcolepsy, like, all that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So her lazy ass was like, hey, how about we move down to my classroom because it'll just be easier for me. I really don't care. Like, you know, I gotta do my work, and like, it's gonna be a lot of work to try and do it after you. It's like, you lazy bitch, whatever. So we go down there, and of course I got a stare when I said that in the class from almost everyone, because they're like, well, most of them think I'm fucking lazy. Not all of them know that I have narcolepsy, of course. Well, she gets down there and she's like, so when are you going to do this test? I look at her again. I go, I don't know a single thing. I don't know when I'm going to get that. Like, I don't have the notes for it. And she looks around and she goes, oh, I'm sure these nice ladies over here, they seem to take good notes. Never been in my class. They seem to take good notes. And they all go, yeah, we're willing to help, like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, yeah, so you're not going to do anything except, like, our notes are basically examples, because it's a math class.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, you know, in math, like, most people don't write down every step. And either way, just looking off that is not going to, like, exactly tell me how to do everything I need to know. So I was, like, thinking to myself, like, wow, you're a stupid cunt. And she's the whole time she's talking to me in a bitchy voice because she doesn't like me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fucking hate that shit.
she turns around and she goes, what about Adrian? Like, because I'm sitting beside one of these other kids, and Adrian's a dude in the summer when I used to smoke a bunch. Adrian and Jacob Bradley, I had to get weed through them, and they're like, hey dude, you mind smoking us up? And I was like, I would smoke you up, but I got shit to do tonight, so I'm just gonna give you $40, buy yourself 4 Gs, enjoy that shit. So I'm good with Adrian because I bought that man 4 Gs of weed during the summer for free. So like I'm chill with Adrian, and Adrian looks at me and goes, "Yeah, man, if you need anything, I can help you out." And I was like, "Listen, I'm too far behind at this point to just look at your notes and understand what I'm doing. If I do need help, I have your number, I have your Snapchat, I will text you. I do appreciate that, but that's probably not gonna work." And like the whole time, this teacher's just giving me a shitty look. I'm like, "Fuck off!
Yeah.
Like you're being a cunt."
There's some teachers that I've had to deal with like that, but honestly, so far, Career Center's been pretty great.
Career Center is like really responsible.
Well, yeah, and I think the biggest thing though is like when you go to the Career Center, you kind of go there expecting to be treated like an adult. So that's like the biggest thing with Career Center is because they teach adults there. Like that's the whole point. It's an adult educational course for, you to learn a trade. Now, it's not all adults. There are a lot of kids there, varying from like 10 to 12. Uh, but like there's still adults there. Like my mom literally works there. You remember? She
Yeah.
teaches there at the phlebotomy or whatever. She teaches like people that are older than her phlebotomy. So it's a place for all ages. So a lot of the teachers are just they're used to teaching adults, so they expect that from everyone. Oh, I'm fucking machine. Yeah, I'm scrape from that, bro. I ain't fighting machinas. Um, but like they all treat each other like adults, and they expect the same back from you. But that's not always the case. But that's honestly why I love these teachers, because Clear Fork was just a lot of bitchy people who didn't give a shit, and they were just there to make a paycheck. At least that's kind of
A
how I
small
always saw it.
paycheck.
Yeah, a very, very small. Did you know that Clear Fork does actually? They're the smallest,
Yes.
like, paid. That is so
Yes.
fucked. I
Because
just
Clear
learned
Fork
about that.
fucking
Yeah,
sucks.
they do, dude. They really fucking do. I miss Brazier a little though. He was like the only fun thing about school, at least that I looked forward to. And then when we were in fourth grade, when we had Hoover, or not fourth, Jesus, that's way back. That's fucking elementary, Jesus.
I don't know.
Seventh, I think seventh.
Mr. Sider really helped me out a lot last year. So when I was falling behind last year, towards the end of the year, I go into his class during resource when I was falling behind in his class, and I was like, "Hey, Sider, is it okay if I come in and catch up my shit today?" And I was sitting in his class for the rest of the period, and he's like, "Yeah, man, that's totally fine with me. But listen, I've seen your grades, man. you're doing perfectly fine in this class. You got a 75%. You got a C. Don't worry about catching up my stuff. If you want a better grade in your other classes, or you need a better grade in your classes, focus on that stuff, man. I don't care about my class. I know you do. I know you're smart, and I know what you're doing, what you need to do, brother. So whatever you need to do. Don't worry about my shit. And he really did help with the whole narcolepsy.
Yeah, dude. And that's just the best shit right there, because you don't get that from teachers these days. At least not a lot of them, right? Like, you just don't find people that give a shit. That they don't put your priorities at the top. They don't have your best interest in mind. And it sucks, because then you
Even
really
like,
do get that stereotypical of like, oh fuck, I don't want to go to school, you know.
I've been really social with my teachers this year because, one, I'm not exactly a good kid, so I have to act like a good kid, you know, that's how that works.
Yeah.
But I've been really social with most of my teachers except like Mr. E. And Mr. E's really lenient on stuff too, but that's because he's retarded. Even Miss Irwin, the art teacher.
Erwin was cool. At least for when I had her.
Hold up, I gotta figure out how to spell this word. I'm a little stupid. She's really lenient about, like, she's getting more lenient. So, like, alright, I'm gonna count you how many missing assignments. Alright, first of all, I have a 32% in art.
Damn, bro, how? Oh, that's right, you sleep. That's right.
Alright, I will count how many missing assignments I have.
Please
1,
don't have an
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
oh, I should have
9,
sent Malefic. I'm an idiot.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 missing assignments, and half of those are, or most of them are over 20 points. One is 50 points, which I turned that one in, so I'm cool with that. She's like, hey, the end of like grading period. Of course, it's art, so like I'm not really like, oh, I need to get that done. I need to get that shit done. But she's like, I'm gonna try and extend the 9 weeks for you, like for those grades, because you're a special situation.
Oh,
And I told her how I've just been put on meds. Like, I'm doing a lot better in my classes, obviously, because I've been staying awake in class. Like, pointed all that out to her, and she goes, I completely understand that. I have no problem with that. So she's trying to literally like extend the 9 weeks for me, so I can just get a half, maybe like a D in her class.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's... Again, she was really lenient when I was in that class, because I struggled for a bit too, because that was when we were doing the whole, like, coming back, or at least trying to come back from long distance or some shit. Fuck, that shit sucked so much. Long distance school fucking sucked.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I hated that shit. But anyways, yeah, Erwin was really cool when I had her, mostly, and a big thing too for me was because she knew my stepbrother, or not stepbrother, brother, Max, and obviously was a favorite because she went into advanced art later.
Cause she's good at art.
Yeah,
Oh,
really fucking
we did
good.
the grid drawings yesterday, or a couple days ago, and she's telling everyone to use rulers, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I don't need that shit. Bro, my grill drawings were so fucking good.
What?
So fucking good.
Let's go.
Didn't use what I did is, so she was telling us how, like, you gotta put dots on the lines and then connect it with like a ruler and like watch the curves, like all that shit. Instead, what I did is every point or like crevice, I would put a dot, or I'd try to match it up exactly to where that point or crevice was, and I'd watch the curve on the other one as I did the curve on the other grid, because we mapped it, because it was the practice one where she'd give you an example and then give you a blank grid.
Yeah. I remember.
Well, that's what I did. I made it I made it a dot to dot basically, and mine turned out so fucking good. So fucking good, it's not even funny.
Nice. Fuck.
Oh, and I didn't even get one of them done because I walked up to her. I was asleep for like half the class, but I at least got like half of it done. And I walked up to her. I go, "Hey, I didn't get all of them done because like I wasn't using the ruler, so like it was kind of hard. But like you know, they turned out pretty good." She goes, "Just turn it in." I look at my grade the next day. I got 100% on that assignment. I was like, "Thank
Nice.
you."
That's sweet. Uh, so where was I with mine?
Yeah, my bad.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I haven't been talking too much anyways as it is. Fucking science class, that's right. So I got through fucking science class, dude. Science was kind of a breeze, but at the same time, I felt really, like, fucking depressed, because, oh, I fucked myself. I was really depressed because I didn't understand anything, and she was moving so fucking fast with the notes. I just could not get any of it down. It fucking sucked. But anyways, finally get through science, and I gotta go to fucking history, which we get nothing done in history class. Uh, everybody's just like too fucking out of it. Everybody's like ready to go home. Everybody knows it's the last period of the day. It sucks. I should bring back red eyes. I really fucked myself with bringing red eyes. Fuck. Wait, this is fine. I'll target you. So anyways, I get into history and I see Bryant there. I'm like, Bryant, where the fuck were you in math? And that's when he tells me he was pouring the fucking concrete out there. I was like, oh, okay, I got you. So we get through like halfway through, and history we have another bell ringer as well. And so we're going through all that shit, and it's like, some long ass one. It was something about like separation of powers or whatever, judicial, all that shit. We had to explain. Most of the time, there are a lot of court case ones, which are really weird to read, but they're kind of interesting. Anyways, the kid next to me and Bryant were both like, I don't know what the fuck we're supposed to do. So they always look towards me. They're like, what do we do? And I was just like, well, this one's about poverty, and then this one's this, that, yada yada. Anyways, fuck, I can't destroy that. That's annoying. I think all my shit's gonna get destroyed now. I'm only gonna have flare out. That's annoying. That's really annoying. And it's all because I had to get metal flare. Yep. Nah. That's a fucking busted card right there. Okay, so anyways, we're about halfway through history. I'm feeling slightly better about the day, but still extremely fucking depressed. And I'm not gonna lie, history in that class is really nice because the guy almost reminds me of Mr. Hoover. He's fun, but he's also like, he just does not give a shit, and if that makes sense. Like, he still cares that we learn stuff, but he gives, like, people don't pay attention in the last period so badly to the point where he just gives answers at that point. He's like, listen guys, you need to get this stuff down for the test. Like, just have it down somewhere. Because
Mr. Cider had asked.
almost every test is open note, which is so fucking nice.
Mr. Cider had asked.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, but again, so I don't really have to deal with anything crazy in that class, and I've only had to deal with one situation where a chick from my lab kind of blew up when she was paired with some bitchy, like, real Gen Z bitch who just would not put her phone down. That was like the only scene I've ever had in that class. But I was like, other than that, dude, it was fine for the ninth period. And then I remember it's Tuesday, So my mom's teaching. It's like, fuck. So now I have to go into the building where my mom's working and teaching, sit for 2 hours, and wait for my dad to come pick me up and go eat dinner with him. That's fun, right? No. Well, it was, because I started watching Breaking Bad.
Wait, you started watching Breaking Bad?
I did. It's a pretty good show
In
so
the
far.
class?
No. I was in like a conference room alone, but anyways, so I started
What episode
watching.
are you on? I'm sorry, but
I think I'm on episode 3 right now.
um,
I didn't get too far. Those episodes are long, by the way. I didn't think it'd be that long.
yeah, dude, but it's kick-ass.
It is. So, I get done with like 2 episodes, and my dad texts me. He's like, "Hey, are you gonna be at the school or your place?" And it's at my school. So, dad shows up at around like, I don't fucking know, 4:10 or 4:20, because he gets off at 4. And he had texted me like really early in the morning, around 11, if I had wanted to hang out with him, if I was up to it. I said sure, and again, like, this is all the way back towards the morning, so I was already in a really bitchy mood. And I said sure, I just don't want to be very long. I fucking bricked again, god damn it. I played that combo so fucked. I said I really don't want to spend a lot of time. I want to get home quick because I'm not feeling myself today. And he tried to ask me what was up, and I just told him it wasn't important. And he kind of pushed my buttons with that. Fucking salamangers. So, my dad's kind of pushing me on like what's going on, and I told him, it's fine. And he said, well, if you're bothered by it, obviously it's important. And so I just kind of left him on red after that because I really didn't want to talk about it. So when I get in the car with him, and I kid you not, dude, I kid you not, this motherfucker, literally the whole time we drove, did not go over 10 or 15 miles per hour in every 35 mile per hour zone. Did not go over 10 or 15. Just wanted me in that car as long as possible.
Safe life.
So this motherfucker and I are just chatting while he's driving like a slow ass grandma. And he's like, "Where do you want to eat?" I said, "I don't know, just somewhere quick. I don't want to sit down." I said, "Let's go to Wendy's." So we go to Wendy's. And on the way we're talking, he's like, he gets into it. He's like, "Okay, what's going on, man? Like, what's up?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm just I was really hesitant to talk because at the time I really couldn't tell him a good reason why I was so upset that I could talk to him about, if that makes sense, because there's a lot I can't talk to my dad about.
Yeah.
So I'm like really hesitant on what to say, and I kind of lead with, well, I'm not really happy. I said the easiest way for me to put it is I'm not happy with my life right now. He said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Well, like," and he led with, "Well, how like what do you mean by that, in the sense of, I mean, you just spent 2 days with your grandparents and you supposedly had a blast. Like, so what's going on?" I was like, "Well, that's true, and that's honestly one of the reasons why I'm so upset and sad, is because I'm not happy with how I live my life because I don't live. Like, I don't do anything. I go to school. I go to work. I come home. I sit in my room all day and I rinse repeat the process. And I was like, that's not living to me. Like, that's just fucking nothing."
Don't worry, buddy. The rest of your lives are gonna be the same way.
And I know that. Like, trust, I know. But I was like, I don't like how that is. I don't like that. And he said, "Well, you talk to God about it." I was was like,
Yeah,
God
of course.
fucking damn it. And I knew that's where he was gonna go. It was like, ah, shit. So I kind of jumped around the topic a little. And, granted, I didn't lie to him. I am truly quite unhappy with how my life is lived, because I'll tell you right now, going out of my way to take a day off of school to just go ziplining and have like a ton of fun was the greatest feeling I've had in a long time, because I was so hopped up on adrenaline. I forgot about everything in the world that I was so stressed about. Like everything. Like the only thing that's going through my head was just that. Being thousands of feet in the sky ziplining where I could evidently fall to my death if I did something wrong. Right? And that almost, it brought me comfort somehow, but it did.
Yeah, you
And
should buy a motorcycle then.
it took so much off of my mind, and it put so much on as well. And when I told him, I told him, after doing stuff like that, like practically being an adrenaline junkie, I just I don't like how I'm living, because I could be spending my days like that. I could be not giving a shit and just living my life, and that's what I should be doing, because I'm a kid. I want to live the days that I have available to me now, till before I become a corporate slum. And he was like, I mean, I know what you're saying. I keep going, and, keep going on with the conversation and all that. And he's like, well, and he brings up the whole God conversation again. I was like, oh.
Bro was really pushing.
He was. I'm not gonna lie, he was. And, fuck, I already fucked this combo up again. You should just forfeit. I do have a chance to attack, though. But I really heavily emphasized on that, and he said, well, because another big point that I gave him was, like, I don't like that my only social circle is online. And I told him, I don't like that I can't go out and, because my point to him was, I just hung out with, like, my grandparents, and I had a really good time because I wasn't alone. I wasn't sitting in a fucking room alone, and I wasn't just moping about thinking what the fuck I was gonna do for the next 8 hours of my life till I went to bed. And I told him, like, I just wish I had that more, but I can't, because everyone has lives and things to do. No one has time for me. He said, well, that's not true. People have time for you, but you have to make that time. And he said, go make some friends if that's what you really think. I said, well, it's not as easy as you say, because we live in a different time now. I can't just go to the park and meet some guy and just hang out with him for the rest of my days. Like, things are just different now. People look at that and they call you a fucking freak or a weirdo. And, it's just, I'm trying to explain to him that I really don't like I like being secluded, and I like my alone time a lot, but I also really don't. And I would much rather spend my days with a friend or a loved one to hang out with and be close to, if that makes sense. And, he just kind of kept hammering the point of, like, well, if that's the case, the biggest thing I would do is I'd take that up to God. And it was just like, and at that point I said, you know what? I don't get, because at some point he stopped to ask if I understood what he meant, and I said no. I wish I could say I could, but I don't, because I don't get that. I don't get what everyone else does. I don't understand that instant gratification. And he stops me there and he goes, it's not instant gratification. You're not gonna get answered, you know, like, it's not something that we just magically get. It doesn't solve all of our problems, but it can help. And I think my point kind of blew over his head again, but I was like, I don't do that stuff anymore because it never changed my life so significantly. I mean, it kind of did at certain points, I'm not gonna lie, but there were just days where, like, that faith extremely falters because you just don't, like, you feel like there's just no way in hell that a higher power is even capable of being alive when shit like this happens to me, you know, with that kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one would let their people suffer like this. And he was like, well, and this was always something my grandparents had on pretty hard too. It was like, well, they use people in many different ways, and they were, you know, it was like, you know, God was always, you know, they could use a really bad influence on somebody to really change someone's life around. I was like, yeah, I remember the stories, I remember it all. Like, it's nice that you guys have something to cling to and believe in, but it's still not sold to me. Like, yeah, I believe in it, but I don't have that faith like everyone else does, because I just don't see it. And that was something that my dad was just trying to fucking hammer into my head, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
he kind of went on about how he was like, you know, back when your mom and I first split up, there was a lot going through my head, and it was a really hard time for me. And right then and there, I told myself in my head, well, that's fucking bullshit. uh, at least from the stories that I've heard in the past, that's a complete lie. But he's like, you know, I struggled a lot, which I don't doubt, but at the same time, I do. And he goes, you know, when I first did that whole split up thing, I turned to God and I thought I was doing the right things, and you know, I thought I was doing the right thing when I turned around and married Veronica, which was, for everyone that doesn't understand, my second stepmom, or my first stepmom, I should say, not my second. Uh, and you know, they you know how that went, man. Like, they divorced
Mm-hmm.
within like the first year. um, he's like, I thought I was doing the right thing there, and you know, I was really torn up from that, and that really hit me extremely hard. God damn it, I just placed that in the wrong fucking spot. And you know, I was not in a good mental state. You know, my mental was extremely bad, and I was not doing well, and I wasn't making the best choices in my life. But I stuck to God, and I did all these things, and I took my problems to Him, and I stopped worrying about everything. I put my trust in Him, and He provided. And it's like, again, I get that works for people, but it
Yeah,
never
I feel like it really just depends on who you are.
exactly.
That's how you're gonna think about it, and that's how you're gonna feel about it. It's not always like.
I just feel like, you know, for me, it just never was the greatest thing. Like, I was really big into it. For those who stuck around when I streamed a lot, you know, like, I used to preach shit from the gospel all the time online, you know, and then I kind of got hit hard in life, and I kind of got away from it. Ain't gonna lie. But that's just kind of how life be sometimes. And I, you know, I hate to say that, you know, but it's true.
My
I
whole
mean,
family kind of did that.
yeah, and I mean, like, half my family split the whole thing because my mom was never really big into it. She still believes in a higher power, but you know, doesn't see it as a very good thing. Um, and anyways, we're kind of veering off track here. So, anyways, we're talking, like, we're getting into some pretty deep conversation now with me and my dad, which is not often. And uh, you know from like past stories, talking to my dad is almost impossible.
Yep.
And
You know, your dad's like, as much as I hate to admit it, he's still a half decent dude.
he is. He
He's
just
still taking part in
makes
your
a
life,
lot
which
of
is very
bad
appreciative.
choices. Well,
Oh yeah, no, I can't disagree with that one.
he takes partial things
I
in
mean, yeah,
life.
no, he doesn't do as much as he probably should or could be
I'm
doing.
currently a little upset with him because my mom's been trying to get a hold of him for a $1,500 like loan from him to get me a new car, like just a car in general, and he won't answer the phone. Like he just won't talk to her because she sent him a text about it and he just has not completely ignored it.
Did you bring that up with him?
I wanted to, but at the moment I didn't. I'm probably going to next Tuesday or
Yeah, I
whenever
was
I
about
see
to
him
say you
next.
should next time. Should be like, hey, listen, I don't care whether you do or not, but mom's been wondering, and I really need a car.
Well,
So,
yeah. But anyways, so kind of closing this story finally. Him and I are just chatting it up, and we kind of get into the topics of self-worth, kind of, because he brought up how there's obviously a huge mental barrier in my head that I just refuse to let myself overcome, which is it's very true. It's seen in every fucking YouTube stream, video, you name it. I just do not let myself have high standards. Well, I have too high standards. That's the best way to put that. I just don't let myself. I don't give myself enough credit or gratitude. Uh, and I can recognize that and I can know that, but I still won't believe it.
see, when I got in trouble for the, is your story over? Like, I don't want to interrupt you again because I'm not
Go
gonna interrupt
ahead. This story could honestly go on for hours.
you. All right. Well, when I first got in trouble with like my parents and shit about just smoking and all the other shit, my dad had brought up how this was within like the first 3 or 4, or it had to have been 4 or 5 months of working at Fast Eddie's. And he had told me that he had called Brenda, and I was like, oh shit, here it goes. And my dad goes, you know I hate her. You know I hate that bitch. There's no way to put that. I don't like her. I don't like her views. I don't like how she acts or who she is at all. But when I talked to her, I kept a level head, and I wanted to have a serious conversation with her about you. And I was like, oh fuck. I'm probably in deeper shit now. And he goes, now I think he had a problem. I had a problem with like my self-worth, which I really didn't. I just had the only problem I had was my parents were being fuck asses. I probably did, I just ignored it because I'm really good at ignoring it because I just don't care. But
Right.
still, it was to the point where, fuck, he was telling me how Brenda had said that I am one of the best few workers and I'm very beneficial to the company, and she would like to keep me as long as she possibly can because I am going to help her company grow. Everyone loves me, like just nothing but good things about me, which honestly felt good because I hated Brenda and I hated my job at that point.
Right.
But he was telling me all that, and he was like, even talking to your teachers alone, like you could tell that they have like they have high hopes for you. They know you're smart. They know like all this shit. And he just told me all that, and I was like, alright, I really don't care, but like that's kind of cool, man.
Right. Well, and that was kind of another thing too. When I went over to my grandparents for the weekend, their grandparents, they're gonna say that shit. Like they're just constantly, "You're the smartest kid I know, man. Like you're gonna be the biggest shot in the world. You're gonna do great things, all that shit." It's like I'd love to believe that, and I'd love to say that about myself too. I just can't. The self-confidence is just too shot. And that's, I mean, like, again, yeah. And I kind of got into some deep conversation over the dinner table, uh, Monday, um, yes, so yesterday. uh, I kind of got into some deep conversation with them about some of that stuff too, because I was already kind of dealing with some of that depression as well, through the whole zipline trip, because it was just, it was there, just had to be.
Holy
Um,
fuck, Evan, I'm really tired, so I'm probably gonna get off in like the next 10 minutes.
alright. So, did you get a lot of your work done, or did I been
Yeah, no,
occupying?
no, I got my shit. I got the project done. That's a 100-point project that I just got done. I'm chilling.
Sweet. Good to know. So, anyways, I just, I did a lot of conversating, and I talked to him a lot about stuff. And it's always heartwarming, and it's nice to know that there are people around. I just really hate the asking for it part, because it feels wrong almost. And I know, like, deep down I know, like, that's never the case. You always can ask for help. But when you have, like, when your only options to get help are from people who are, like, constantly working, it kind of sucks. And, like, when I see my grandparents working, or, like, when I go out to hang out with them, they're always working. It doesn't matter if they're, you know, taking their time to spend with me. It's like they're just always working. They never can get away from work. And I hate that, because I
Which
can't spend
grandparents
time
are
with
they?
them. Robin and Matt, the good ones.
Yeah, but that, like, with them always working, it's almost like they have a reputation to uphold. They
Well, yeah,
are
they
honestly
do.
some hard motherfucking workers.
Yeah, they are. I just, and like, again, that's just the thing, though. Like, I love that they have such high standards for me, and that they believe I can make those standards. But it just sucks that I can't spend that quality time with them because of that. Like, they work so hard that they can't get that time off. As much as they love to, and they want to, and they say they want to, it just won't happen as often as they would want, or I would want, because that's just life. And it's the same with, like, my parents. The saddest thing that I have ever said was recently when I told them my I looked at my grandpa and I told him, dude, you play harder than my friends, my family, my parents, and you're almost what? You're almost 50 something. And you are more active than anybody I know, including myself. More hyper than I am. And
Nah, bro.
I
See me
can't
out.
get anyone to do that shit. And
The only
it
reason
sucks.
he's more hyper is because I've been doing a lot of cardio. A little worn out, my boy.
I get it, no. That's not what I mean, though. Like, my thing is just, like, I hate the fact that I can't just go out with my parents and do things with them. You know what I mean? And it
That's how I
sucks.
felt a lot when I was depressed about the whole pause smoking thing, so I
Like,
wouldn't say
it
it's
was
like
just,
normal to feel that way, but I will say I have been completely there. Uh, You're like you're like refreshing my mind of what happened for those
I'm
5 months.
sorry
I
if
was
that's the case.
Well, no, you're not like reminding me in a bad way. It's not
Yeah.
like depressing me, but like you're just kind of reminding me exactly what happened and how that happened. And like I've been there. I probably still have a paragraph and then actually it might be on my desk. Hold on. No one knows about it because My parents wouldn't let me see certain people.
That's another thing too, man. For like the punishments that I got for some of that shit, I get it, I understand I was rebellious and I did shit I wasn't supposed to, but taking away my friend group and all my social life, dude, that really affected me hard. That did some fucked shit to my head.
I'm sorry. I looked at my desk for the notebook and I got distracted. There's a bunch of shit in here. A bunch of
You're good.
interesting shit. Actually, I still have a shit ton of joint filters in my desk. I saved those. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, fuck. I found it.
Yo.
Probably can't read. Oh, why did I write so much?
Bro, I feel that.
Oh, there's my Fast Eddie's order when I was really fucking high and I couldn't remember what I needed to say. Alright.
Bruh.
Even before I did it, still felt like I was a villain. I was always in the wrong and I was never on the right track. And when I did, it was... Holy shit. When I did it, it was free. I was happy. I was talking about, like, the pot. How I had never actually bought pot and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when it was free. I was happy and didn't have any more problems left. But now that it stopped, people see me more than a villain, except my friends and my coworkers. At Fast Steadies, they have all been where I am right now and understand. They treat me like family without knowing little to nothing about me. Hell, half of them seem like they would take a bullet for me, and people wonder why I did it. It brought me family that cared, without knowing it. Holy shit. I wrote this really sloppy because I was pissed off.
You just sound so tired, dude. I'm sorry for keeping
I
you
know,
up.
but I was also like, I was so pissed off writing this, so it's so fucking hard to read.
That's
And it's like,
understandable.
it's packed in there. Like, I have 4 pages, basically. Alright, let's see if I can read this. How
Shoot.
half of them seem like they would take a bullet for me. And people wonder why I did it. It brought me family that cared without you knowing it. Without knowing it, weed is bad. But it did so much for me. And I'm the bad guy for smoking, basically. I'm so lost. I don't know what to do to the suicide. Oh, I consider suicide constantly in my head. And there's very few people keeping me around. So if I decide to sleep or play games, so I decide to sleep or play games. With sleep, I can only do it every 1 to 10 times. I tried, but I'm naturally not tired. And if I do sleep, it's at the wrong time of day. I was pissed off for that. My mom was always yelling at me because this was like during the summer. She's like, "Well, you're sleeping at the wrong time of day," and blah blah blah. I was like, "Mom, I'm depressed. I can't sleep. I can't wake up correctly. My sleep schedule's fucked. Even though I'm not doing anything. Blah blah blah. For this bullshit." And so I was pissed off that like I would sleep at the wrong, in quotation marks, time of day, and I'm yelled at for it. So I give up trying to do anything right. It's always wrong. Soon I'll give caring, and my life will get worse. No matter that, it will happen. Holy fuck. Let's just skip to the part. Basically, it was saying how pot had helped my life so much. Like, it had gotten me a job, it had gotten me friends, it had gotten older friends closer. It had brung so many people together for me. I was getting sleep again, and everyone was blaming Bruce for, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say rightfully so, but I kind of want to, because he did definitely introduce it. Yeah.
It was Bruce. Like, there's nothing to say about that. But, like, still, like, everyone was blaming Bruce and being a real asshole to him, and I was like, listen, even whether it was Bruce or not, Bruce did me a favor, because it had, like, generally the whole reason I have a Fast Eddie's job is because Bruce introduced it to me, and I love the I hate it, but I love it. Like, I don't plan on leaving that place. I'm not gonna be, like, of course, working that job for the rest of my life, but I think I will, like, reserve a day to where I just go into Fast Eddie's and work for a day, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that'd be something I'd want to do, and all that. And I was saying how it, like, really helped, and even with Bruce introducing it to me, it was used more as a medication at times than it was, like, anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, yeah, I definitely can feel that.
But it was also, like, describing how my family had seen me as a bad guy, even though, like, my dad smokes pot, and a lot of my family smokes pot. A lot of the people my family hangs around smoke pot, and, like, all this shit. It's like, but I'm seen as the bad guy for doing it, even though, like, a lot of kids are smoking pot these days, but it's my problem that I'm doing it. And
Right.
my parents were blaming it on me for the longest time, until they were like, alright, we fucked up. And I was like, yeah, fuck you guys. It was your fault.
Yeah,
Of course, recently though, now that I've been thinking about it more, one of the more reasons I probably started smoking and shit was because at the same time, around that time, my mom was never home. She had missed birthdays and all that, and I think I've already said this, mainly because she had to babysit an autistic kid, and most of her time and energy and money was spent towards that compared to whereas me, and that was like in my teenage, like I was like 14 and 15. Like, that's when I needed attention from my family, because that is like the turning point of your life. If you're not getting the right things at those ages,
yeah, no, I feel
teenage
that.
years, you're irrational. You think a lot. You think a lot differently, and so if they're not around and they're not like as like they're hard on you, but they're not to the point where it's like,
Dude, prime
it
example.
seemed as shitting.
Prime fucking example. I didn't even remember this, but my mom came over to me one day while I was sitting down. She was like, she was talking about how dad really wanted me to go to counseling or some shit. And I was like, why though? She said, well, do you not remember, like, when your dad and I first, no, it was when Veronica and him split up. That when my dad was, like, literally holding himself at gunpoint, threatening suicide. He was really unstable. I had also threatened to kill myself because of, like, I don't know, I guess I don't remember the reason, but I guess I did. Like, I just threatened to kill myself because life wasn't good enough, I guess. I don't even remember that, but I did that as, like, a young kid. Like, that's fucked. And I'm not gonna, I don't want to blame that on my parents. Like, that's life, I guess. I mean, I could rightfully so blame that on my parents because they split up. Obviously, they made a bad decision, but still. I just, I think about that, and it's really fucked. at such an early age in my life, probably when I was maybe like 9 or 10, I threatened something like that. That's huge. It's a massive deal.
So, like, I even told my sister that not too long ago. I was like, you know, Mom always like, well, she either thinks like she fucked up, and that's the reason I started smoking, or that's the reason I started being a bad kid, or like all this other bullshit. I was like, I don't necessarily think she fucked up, but I do think that she was in the wrong, and that's why I started doing it. Her being gone for the teenage years of my life that I needed her, and already with all the COVID shit happening, and never really having fun and constantly being yelled at because I couldn't sleep, blah 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 blah, like, it takes a toll.
It does, dude. Trust. I remember the nights when I would get fucking screamed at for staying up so late and sleeping all day. That shit was not fun.
Alright, I'm gonna go wash my hair and go to bed. I can't. My eyes hurt so bad.
I feel that. Alright, buddy. Thanks for hearing my vent.
No problem. You do the same for me, so.
Facts.
Plus, you don't come to me often, so.
Yeah. I really need to.
The only time you really came to me is that one time. Last time you probably came to me was probably around the same time. What had happened? I was still grounded for smoking, so I couldn't do much, and you had called me in tears or something.
Oh yeah, dude, it was bad.
You were out by the pool.
Oh, dude, it was bad. That was a rough night.
Like, I like to think of it just to make myself feel better that you mainly because you
Oh,
me
dude, no, dude.
You text me in the roughest of times.
Rightfully fucking so, because I still do. Today, like I said, it may not have seemed like it, but today was bad. It sucked. I don't know, dude. Today was just, I was off something.
No, bro, it's understandable. I might not get put on that nighttime med though, so I might not get like drug tested and shit, which means I'm smoking in the summer, which is gonna make my life so much fucking better. But I mean, for now, dude, I'm like 2-3 weeks clean right now. Like honestly, I'm chilling right now. I don't really need pot. So this summer I'm gonna get absolutely fucking baked.
I really wish I could too, man. I want to try it so bad, but I know I can't and I shouldn't. I mean, I could, but I shouldn't.
Your mom's totally chill with it, which is kind of the weird thing.
I know. Well, she's chill with it, but she still doesn't, like, condone it. She doesn't want it. Right, yeah. It's so funny, though, because you'll constantly hear her tell on that story of, like, if I could get Jason to take psychedelics or, like, do weed, I totally would. I'd slip it in his drinks every night. I would.
Bro needs a little something to get his mind off of it.
Dude, he hates the world.
Even if he starts microdosing, like, alright, so microdosing psychedelics is like taking a very, very, very small amount of psychedelics to the point where maybe your vision might get a little hazy and you just kind of have weird thoughts. And it's an actual medical, like, thing in Canada. Like, it's a medically condoned thing. You can go to, like, not really dispensaries, but you can go to, like, pharmacies and shit and get microdoses of psychedelics. Like, microdoses, obviously, if not taken, like, every day, like, microdoses, like, maybe once a month, or, like, if you have to be really mentally fucked up to be doing it pretty often.
Oh, yes, it
But,
does.
like, once a month, just like one microdose. Like, psychedelics is known for clearing your mind. Like, it literally gets rid of so much. And like,
Oh yeah,
I know
dude.
Garrett recently did psychedelics too, and he seems like he's doing a lot better. So I don't think it's exactly a horrible thing to wear.
Well, no, and it's not. Like that was always the biggest thing too, because we always slip into these conversations, my mom and I, because whenever you're around too, this always happens. We talk about how like psychedelics are always like looked at wrongly because they pretty much just showed us the truth. Like, dude, everybody's so chill when this shit goes
That's the
down.
same with pot. Like, the only thing you really want to buy with pot is, like, food.
Right, yeah. Like, the biggest thing about, like, they just made it illegal because it freed up everyone's mind and it actually let them think properly. God damn it, magical cylinder.
The only thing you want to buy if you're smoking pot is usually food and pot.
Right, so it's
Like,
just really funny to think that they're, like, trying to make sure that honestly
fuck,
just
especially if
opens
you
the
know how to
world up.
cook, dude. Like, I used to walk into my kitchen so fucking baked when my parents went home and just make the most monstrous fucking shit. I
Fucking
still
hell.
do it when I'm baked. Like, I'll just walk into my kitchen baked with my parents home, whether or not. I don't give a shit anymore. And I'd walk in there and I'd take the Cheetos mac and cheese, cook that shit, but I'd make it kind of special. I'd throw in some extra cheddar cheese, put some extra butter in that shit, throw some like chicken in it, spice it up a little bit extra, season it myself. Dude, I just make the most monstrous stoner munchies.
Oh shit.
One day I took like a bowl of cottage cheese, toasted some pepperoni, and like melted some cheese over. Alright, this is some weird shit. I don't even remember exactly what I did. I think I took like cold cheese over some cottage cheese. Or like just melted cheddar cheese, very slightly melted cheddar cheese. And then toasted
Oh shit, I
pepperoni
think
with
I'm
like
dead.
ham and shit on over top of it for some reason. And I fucking
Yeah, I'm dead
took
here.
like I think I was eating them with saltines. Poured some hot sauce over that and started like eating it like a chip dip with saltines. And that shit was amazing for no reason. That sounds so disgusting, but it was amazing. The whole stoner mac and cheese thing, of course.
Yes,
The
dude, I
fucking
was just about
the
to roll into
sweet
that.
and
The
spicy,
fucking
the
mac and
sweet
cheese
and
was
spicy
so
grilled
good.
cheese, dude. I've
Fuck
told that
yes.
story so many times. I left the burner on for 3 hours after that though, because I was way too stoned.
Yeah, dude, that stoner mac and cheese was just killer. I love that shit. It was so good.
I've been so tempted to make it for like the past 8 days.
Honestly, you should, man. That shit is just fucking scrumptious.
I need to.
Need to have you come down maybe this weekend. Or no, that's right, you got Meta on Mushroom Head. Fuck. I keep
Yeah,
reminding
it might be
myself.
a bit before I have a free weekend.
Let me know how the. Are
Probably
you
'cause
taking Caitlin with you, or is it just you and
no,
your dad?
she's staying home with my mom and my sister, and they're getting plastered all together. Yeah, I'm not allowed to drink in my house, but my 17-year-old girlfriend is.
Like hell, you're not allowed to drink, bro. You get slipped shit every fucking time from your dad.
Alright, but like not enough to get plastered, alright? My dad literally like will look at me, he's like, alright, like you can have a couple drinks and shit, but like you're underage. Like even though it's perfectly legal for me to be drinking on my own property under supervision, even underage, like perfectly legal. That's literally legal. He's like, yeah, I can't be giving you too much. I was like, dude, you don't know this, but you've seen me baked out of my mind thousands of times. Like, you understand the amount of times I've been fucking intoxicated, and you just blow it off because you have no clue. Like, one day, oh, I think you guys were there. I was on mic because I was drunk as fuck. They were camping on top of the hill. And I was screaming because I
Oh,
was
I
playing
remember.
Yu-Gi-Oh! After I bought Yu-Gi-Oh! He walked in, and he's like, everything okay in here? And I was like, yeah, I'm just having some fun on my game. You know, you guys are up there, so I can kind of be loud and shit. And I was just talking to him. I was drunker than a motherfucker. I don't know how he didn't know. Probably because he was drunk too, but like still. He's seen me intoxicated so many times.
Oh
It's like,
shit, Jet Dragon. Oh fuck, I might be dead here. It's only if he destroys the card.
Even with me not being fond of your sister, a couple days ago, I was like, I wonder if she's doing her whole ASMR thing still. So I spent like an hour trying to find your sister's channel. I just found
I
her
think
on my
she does,
recommended.
yeah.
She does. She posted 6 hours ago.
That's fucking funny.
Hey, your sister isn't that bad, but she's not exactly like. I wouldn't like choose to hang out with her because she's particularly an ass to me for no reason.
Right, yeah. Well,
Like
it
I don't
was
know
always
why.
because, like, you were, I don't know, I think it was because you brought up, like, transgender shit or some fucking shit, I don't
No,
know.
because like one night, me, Jake, and her had like a long 3 hour conversation because
Yeah,
we were in a
that's
we
exactly
were
what
in
it
a
was.
mood.
It was
No, but
the,
like me and Jake said the same shit. We were literally agreeing on shit, like all three of us as a whole.
I
Like
don't
I
know.
was literally supporting her in that. That's why I was like, that makes no sense, bitch.
I don't know. Things are complicated, man. Life is complicated.
It's like every time I'm around, your sister just like the whole time just throws me down. Like even yesterday, I think Caitlin was over that time too. She walked in and I was like, "Oh, hey Max," and her boyfriend kind of just looked at me too, and I was like,
Oh, dude, was this Kiera with her?
"Nah." Yeah, I think so. It might have just been Max, but I said hi Max, and she just like compared to what she said to you and Jake, she just kind of waved at me like Jake, he basically thinks of me as a brother. You think of me obviously as more than a brother. You know,
Yeah, you're a
we
lover.
get down sexual style. Yeah, like your mom thinks of me as a fucking child of her own.
Oh, absolutely.
Your dad probably did for the longest time too. Like your biological dad, and Jason fucking loves me.
Oh,
So
yes, dude. If he
like,
remembers you, that is. It's so fucking funny, dude. There are days when he's like, "Yo, you should have your buddies come down," and then he's like, I'll come over like, "Hey, man, is it cool if Christian comes down?" He's like, "Who?" He's
he's
just that
probably
fucking.
Caspered every
Yeah,
time
he
I'm
is.
over.
He's fucking sent for every fucking time, and I love it.
I fucking love Jason.
Oh shit. Oh.
Ice cold water, baby.
Oh fuck.
Drinking
My
like 3
hair's.
bottles of water today, so I'm feeling good. Oh, so I got my check today, and I was telling my mom like how much I'm gonna be like taking out for my wallet, which is only like $28, because I owe money, and I'm also trying to save a lot more than I was earlier, like later, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I got you.
And so like how like so usually my checks are like $130. So like whatever the 100 mark is, I'm gonna take between $20 to $50 out of my check depending on how much like my pay is over $100. So like $100 will always go into the bank account, and then I'll keep 28 for my wallet for anything else that I want or need, or like however much amount that goes over 100. And I was telling her that, and she's like, "Well, don't you also have another check in your car?" And I was like, "Holy shit, I do! I have way more money than I think." I'm a retard at heart. Jesus
Bro, we
Christ.
all fucking are.
What the fuck is what the? Please tell me I don't gotta fix my fan again.
Dude, I love you to death for fixing this
32.
fan.
Listen to my fan.
God damn, bro.
Wait.
Did you just smack it and it stopped making noise?
I like grabbed it a certain way and it stopped.
No shot.
I mean, I've fixed that fan so many times. It's like fucking funny. I just sat there high as fuck, fucking with your fan for hours.
Dude, you fixed it though. Like, it doesn't make noise. It doesn't. It's
Like
good
I
now.
just cleaned it. I tightened most of like the bolts and shit. Just made sure everything was rotating correctly. And that was all. I just did like a maintenance check on it. That was basically it.
Oh shit. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna smell like shit tomorrow because I don't want to fucking shower tonight. I'm just gonna wash my fucking hair and be a lazy cunt.
I remember
Haley's
when I
gonna get
used to
in bed
do
with
that.
me and it's just gonna smell like cock and balls marinating in sweaty man armpits.
What an image. Holy shit. What the fuck?
And Fast Eddie's. We gotta add
Oh
that in our
fuck.
queues.
Nah, dude. That's fucked.
I just constantly smell like festers. It's disgusting. Like after work, I'll get back and everyone in the house is just like, God damn.
God
It's like,
damn.
fuck you guys. I understand I smell like pizza sauce and onions, but...
That's funny as fuck, dude.
Dude, today we were so fucking busy, it wasn't even funny. Alright, so we had 2 people on the line. You know how many fucking pizzas we made?
Oh jeez. How many?
So we went through a total of 215 tickets in not even 4 hours.
No
With 2 people,
shot, dude.
just me and Chad, alright? 215 fucking tickets. Now, not all of them, of course, were ours. But 215, that's a fuck ton of tickets.
Yeah.
But if I'm correct, we probably went through, let's see, round that up to 20, so 20 plus 20, 40 plus 80, so 80 times 2 necessarily, 160 plus another fucking like 10, 170. We probably made around 200 pizzas, just us two. Like that's fucked. Chad looks at me and goes, we're going through way... We only had a manager and me, which I'm basically a goddamn manager. Goddamn, I do everything.
I believe
Brenda
it.
actually looked at me one day and she was like, because like Spencer had pissed her off, one of my other managers, and she was like, I don't understand why you aren't manager up here. She was go way smoother. I was like, fuck.
It's pretty
Like
funny.
once I'm 18, I guarantee I'll be a manager.
Honestly, man, you could. I ain't gonna lie. You really fucking could.
And you, dude, you know what she does with her managers? She'll take them like out of state. Like, probably 2 weeks ago, she took like 5 or 6 different managers, or like 10 different people. Not all of them were managers, and she bought them like hotel rooms, tickets to get into clubs, like bars and shit. And they took everyone to a dispensary to get pot, like bought them drinks. She spends like thousands of dollars on just people from work if they're of age, and it's like
That's fucking
Brenda's
sick, though.
stacked. She could be making so much more money if she didn't do that shit though, which is like she's generally a nice person even though she's a stupid cunt. Like Chad the whole day today was basically calling her a stupid cunt, so she's a major Democrat.
Oh jeez.
There's a Democratic debate, and we always make pizzas for all of the people in them. And so the ticket was the Democrats. That was the
Bruh.
for the
No.
Democrats. And Chad the whole time was just like every pizza he made, it just constantly like he wanted to spit in it so bad, and the whole fucking time he's sitting there, goddamn Democrats, are a problem everything. I was like, dude, I can't.
Fucking
And then
hell.
he would call Brenda a stupid cunt for being a stupid fucking Democrat.
What the hell, man?
He's a manager too.
Oh my
He's the
god.
top manager in there, like does everything. And he just calls her a stupid cunt.
That's fucked.
I told Dad about it too, and my dad goes, "He should have spit in those goddamn pizzas." I was like, "Trust me, he wanted to."
God damn it. Fuck, almost out of coke.
Even my uncle, though, he used to work at Fast Eddie's way back in the day. He was telling me how, like, Brenda has helped him so many times. Like, Brenda keeps people off the streets. Like, half the people working there would be living on the streets if it wasn't for Brenda. Brenda is, like, generally a good person, even though she's a fucking retard. Like, not even for her views. Brenda's literally just retarded. And her son did not, you know, the apple did not fall far from the fucking tree, but let me tell you.
My boy, that fan is loud as hell.
I know, I just moved it.
Alright.
I think I'll just watch it now if I watch my 80% chance of rain. What the fuck?
Tomorrow? Oh, shot.
Yeah. I'm actually supposed to be pouring right now.
Three SRs? It's not bad for fucking tickets.
We've got a pretty big rainstorm actually.
Oh,
dude, did I tell you how I passed a cop going 80 and a 55?
Yes, you did earlier today.
Dude. So, of course, my dad had put notifications on for when I go over 100. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna turn my phone off. So I'm in like 4th gear going like 65, and I was like, alright. So I slow down to 55, downshift into 2nd gear, because, you know, I want that higher torque so I can get up to speed faster. So I downshift, I'm excited, I'm getting ready, and I get up to like 4th gear, going 80 miles an hour, and I see a black car with something on top, and I was like, yeah, but all the Belleville cops have white cars. So I kind of just kept my speed. I get a bit closer. I was like, fuck, that's a cop! That's a cop! And I was just like, please don't flash your lights. Please don't flash your fucking lights.
God damn it, dude. That's just another fucking reason I know I can't do bikes, man. I'd love to ride, like, I'd love to do a bike, but I would never keep track of my speed. I just never would.
No, I keep track of it a little too well. Just not.
I think I'd also end up being a dumbass.
I'm so glad he didn't flash his lights, because I was on my way to work. I was like, no, my bike's gonna be sitting out in the open. If that fucker saw my plate, I'm fucked. I was like waiting for like a call from my dad all at work, like, hey, the cops just called me, asked me why this so-and-so Yamaha red sports bike registered in my name was going 80 and a 55. Like, I was waiting for that call. I was like, God damn it, please tell me they didn't get my plate.
My guy. Oh shit.
Like, I need to start going out of town when I want to speed.
I don't know, you might get caught. You might have a higher chance of getting caught in that case.
Not really. Like, if say I go all the way up to like, it can't be like a big city. So like, say I go like Mount Vernon, that'd be like far enough. Or like Marion. Marion's not too big. So if I sped in Marion, right, they're Marion cops. They would mainly be searching in Marion and within like a 15 to 30 mile radius outside of Marion, which would not get in Belleville for my bike. Therefore, if I just stayed out of Marion for a damn long time, no one would really give a shit
I guess
anymore.
I guess technically you could legally get away with it if you get past a certain city limits, because then legally the cops can't pull you over if they're like from the city. Like, so if they work internally in the city, like they patrol the city, they can't try and pull someone over and like ticket them
Oh, I
outside
was
of
on
it.
the city limits necessarily.
So
They were out of
you
it.
could you could
Those
get
were
away with that.
those were Butler cops. The ones that I passed was a Butler cop.
See, I don't know about them.
But I was in Belleville, like I was on 97. God, dude, my home screen of Caitlyn, it's her senior picture, and the way she's sitting, she got a nice ass. I would show you, but I can't be doing that.
You're a lucky bastard, man. Cherish that shit. You lose it, I will punch you. Yo, I pulled a gear free, let's go.
Bro, I get boobies every time I come home from work. You think I'm just gonna, like, drop that?
Well, you
Bro,
pretty
come
stupid
home,
sometimes.
bro, come home, bad mood, boobies, good mood. And then, when I come home from work in a really tired mood, now this is gonna sound weird until I, like, explain it all the way, but, like, I'll spread her legs, and I'll just lay directly, like, on her thigh and, like, in the stomach range. I'll lay my head right there and lay in between her legs and just knock the fuck out after work. She'll
Dude.
just play with my hair the whole time. Like, bro, you really think I'm gonna ditch that? I got...
Lucky bastard.
No, bro. Long hair is also a charm. I'm sorry, my fans let me laugh for a second. I gotta get my charger. Dude, this fucking box for the Silver 76 gun is so fucking big.
You didn't send me a picture of that shit, dog.
I know, I'm too lazy.
Well, fuck you.
Here, I think I can get a picture of it real quick. Oh, my wallet's all the way over there. I guess we're gonna stalk my sister on Facebook real quick. I have to pull it all up and fucking... Oh no, I don't. I'm already on her page in Facebook. Fuck, I do. Log in. Sorry, my fans probably really loud.
Just a little. Oh. Fuck, now my eyes are starting to get heavy.
Bro, she got so many hickeys right now, it's not even funny.
Pardon?
You heard me.
Talking to your girl or your sister?
What the fuck, dude? Why would I know that? Why would I know?
I don't know. You just said you were stalking her, so I don't fucking know.
Oh, well, no. I'm not stalking her yet. I gotta find her page. Oh, my great-grandma's gonna die.
What?
Yeah, she's like 93, but she's gonna die.
Damn, Ray. Can't remember what age my Nana died. I think she was 94.
She doesn't even really remember who people are right now.
Dude, my
dying.
Nana was such a Chad. She always, I mean,
Fuck,
you know.
it was way too late to bring that up. That's not gonna age well.
It's facts, dude.
Like,
Wasn't even that long ago, man. That was the most depressing shit, dude. Last year, I had to attend like 3 funerals to people that I just were in my life, man. That sucked. 3 fucking funerals. Granted, all of them were like natural cause. I think. Let's see which ones. My Nan, she died of age. Well, actually, no. What ended up happening was fucking hospital didn't take care of her, so she just fucking sat with no treatment for like 2 days
Well,
straight.
she was old.
She was old, but she could have lived a little longer, because Jesus, they didn't do their jobs. They literally let her die. Like, that was really fucked. But, she died, and then Logan committed to die. That was sad. Who else? Who else died? I know there was someone else.
One of them was like a friend of yours. Or like,
That
not
was
really a friend
Logan.
of yours.
I'm trying to remember. It was a family member. I know it was. I know
You
it
can
was
see
name.
Kayla in
Oh,
the background. She's
Jason's
giving me a
mom
look
died.
because she said I was a child. She's
Fucking
like,
Jason's
why?
mom died. I remember that. That was
Oh
a sad
shit.
funeral. It was a very sad funeral. He has
Because
like
like
Jason has like 4 brothers or 5 other brothers, dude. They all got up to speak. Holy shit, are them rival rounds?
yeah, it's
Bro,
full out on that.
Caitlin's just looking at you.
Yeah, dude. When I was talking to my sister about like actually letting her get it, like getting my sister to get it, she's like, "Do you really need it?" I just looked at her. She goes, "I'm sorry for saying that because I gave her a dirty fucking look." And then as I was like looking at it and admiring it, she's like, "You're such a child. Do you really need that? It's literally a toy." And I just gave her another
Yes.
dirty fucking look. I was like, simply yes. This gun is more important right now.
Not only is it from a Chad game, it's from Nerf, bro. Like, who wouldn't want Nerf?
Except the problem is, I'm probably gonna have to modify it if I truly want to like fuck around with it because
Dude, holy
the
shit.
the flywheel isn't like it was on the Nemesis. The flywheel, like after 2 shots, like the bullets literally just drop. They almost just drop out of the gun. They don't. They really don't do much.
Fucking dude. Those are some memories that hit hard, bro. Dude, modifying Nerf guns or like thinking about modifying, dude, that shit was so fun.
I know, but the problem with that is it's gonna be electronics, and I really don't want to fuck around with electronics, and I don't want to have to buy a $200 flywheel.
Yeah, that was always the biggest problem with modifying, dude. The fucking parts were so expensive. I mean, you know how to solder, right?
Yeah.
So the electronics aren't gonna be a huge issue. The biggest thing is just getting a new flywheel, fly cage. The cages are the worst. Uh, it's honestly dependent on whether you want to put a fucking lipo battery in there, basically.
Shit takes 6D batteries.
6D batteries? Damn, how
Just
heavy
like
is
the
that?
Nemesis. It's fucking... Dude, the gun's fucking huge. Like, look at the box.
Yeah, that looked massive, bro. That's like,
Like,
that
it's
was longer than
fucking
your wingspan. Like,
huge.
that was big.
Yes. It's big as shit.
I'm surprised you didn't come home with like a Widowmaker sniper, dude.
They only made the McCree, the Reaper shotguns, and the Diva and the Soldier 76. But I've never seen the Soldier 76 gun.
Yeah, that one
I've,
I have never seen, but I've seen the
I
other
think
ones.
I've seen the Reaper. I think I've seen the Diva, and I might have seen the McCree once or twice.
I've seen the McCree one once because it's built just like a hammer shot one. So they have the hammer at the top, and it's actually built
Well,
like a revolver.
I also think that the only way I saw the Reaper shotguns was because Sniper Wolf had them. She always had them hung on her wall, I think. I don't know for sure. But that's how I knew about those.
I ended up seeing those when I went to a Gamescape or GameStop. Uh, I saw them when I was in there, and I saw the Diva one
Well, that
too.
shop is a lot like Big Fun, except way more nerdy. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
talking way more fucking nerdy.
Where is
Like,
it?
ugh, I think it's in Conshohocken. No,
Coshocton? No shot.
it's not in Conshohocken. It's near New Philly.
That's not far.
New Philly's an hour and a half away
Oh
from
shit,
me.
I'm thinking of no other different place. New Philly. Mm,
I miss
I'll
it
have
up
to.
there though. It's expensive to live up there just because of how much shit. Like where we went is like a 30-minute drive, but like it's the biggest mall I've ever seen. So much fucking nerdy shit. There's a nerdy store like that. Like Chris wanted the whole Sandman comic collection, and it was like $500 for that bitch.
God damn. Well,
Yeah,
comics, they're always gonna be
they
pretty
have they
pricey.
have they have. I'm talking shelves of comic. Oh, there was a really rare Ninjago set too.
Ooh.
It was one of the smaller ones, like the $10 ones you'd see in Walmart and shit.
Oh,
And I was like,
really?
ooh, I kind of want to get that because it had like it had one of the older versions of Kai, and it was a set I've never seen. And I was carrying it around, and Caitlin goes, "Well, how much is it in the first place?" And I turn it around, $42 fucking dollars.
Holy shit.
I was like, "Nah, bro, that's out of pocket." And
That
I just set
is
it back
fuck.
down.
Did it have like was it one of the serpentine like
No,
staff
not it wasn't
things?
like that old. It was like I'm telling you, it was one of the smaller sets.
How wait. Okay, it's just like season wise for Ninjago. We
All
talking
right,
Serpentine Stone
it
Army,
had the half mask. I don't know which season it was. It had a half mask, and you could see Kai's spiky hair.
Techno Blades then.
He was out in the jungle though. It was really fucking weird.
Half mask with a jungle.
All right, I'm gonna go take a shower and take a shit, or not take a shower, but wash my hair at least.
Alright, you gonna get off
So
then?
I guess I'm finally gonna get off. But yeah,
after
it was
after an
like,
hour of saying we weren't gonna get off.
yeah. But yeah, it was like an older small set, like one of those like it's almost like Kai's mech when they sold that, like $10.
Yeah, the really small mech, I remember
Yeah,
that.
it's almost like that. Like you would expect it to be 10. No, it was not fucking $10. It was like $50.
I have to look into that, see what I can find.
But yeah, all
It
right.
might have been
See
one of
ya.
the newer ones. Alright, buddy, see you later. Alright, well. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.